If I lost everything today, no followers, no cash, no connections, I'd still become a millionaire within 12 months. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how. This isn't going to be one of those generic save money and invest in index funds videos. No, this is about what I'd do if I had to rebuild from the ground up in 2024. If I had no safety net, no audience, just a laptop and hunger. Because building wealth today isn't about luck, it's about leverage. And I want to show you how to create that, even if you're starting from nothing. This is how I'd find momentum, build it into money, and turn that into freedom. Chapter 1, listening before building. Before Amazon was Amazon, before warehouses, Prime, or billion-dollar rockets, Jeff Bezos was a 30-year-old working at a hedge fund. He had a great job, smart colleagues, and a good salary. By most standards, he was already successful. But Jeff was obsessed with one thing: patterns. And in the mid-90s, one pattern stood out like a flashing neon sign. The internet was growing fast. More and more people were getting online every day. And that curve wasn't flattening. It was exploding. Bezos didn't try to guess what product would be cool or trendy. He looked at the infrastructure and asked, what kind of business becomes inevitable in a world where internet usage doubles every year? That question led him to one insight. E-commerce was coming like a freight train, and nobody was ready. So he did something crazy. He left his stable career, drove across the country with his wife, and started working out of his garage. His first idea, not everything store, not global dominance, just books. Because books were the simplest way to start. Thousands of titles, no need to educate the buyer, and easy to ship. And here's what matters most. He didn't start with a passion project. He started with demand. He listened to what the internet was becoming, and he positioned himself in front of the wave before anyone else realized it was even building. If I had to start today, I'd do exactly that. Not copy Bezos, but think like him. I'd look at where behavior is shifting, where attention is going, what people are already trying to solve, just without great tools or clear answers. Because money doesn't show up where things are perfect. It shows up where things are breaking. And if you're smart enough to see that pain early and bold enough to act on it, that's where everything begins. Chapter 2, show the journey, not just the results. Now let's say I find a problem worth solving. Most people would go into hiding. They'd build quietly, obsess over the product, and resurface months later, hoping someone cares. But I'd do the opposite. See, I once met this kid at a startup event. He was 21, building this editing tool for streamers. Nothing revolutionary, but every day, he'd tweet a short update about what he built that day. A new feature, a bug he fixed, a small design tweak. He had maybe 300 followers, but he kept going every single day. And then one day, a Twitch influencer saw it and reposted it. Suddenly, thousands of people were signing up. He had a wait list. He quit his day job, and it all happened. Not because the idea was brilliant, but because the consistency was. When people watch you build, they feel part of it. They trust you. They want to support you. If I had to rebuild, I wouldn't wait for perfection. I'd let people watch the process. And through that transparency, I'd build momentum before I had results. Chapter 3, stop chasing, start compounding. But here's where most people blow it. Right when the first bit of traction hits, they get distracted. I've seen it so many times. Someone builds something solid, it starts working, and then they ditch it to chase the next big thing. Crypto, dropshipping, whatever's hot that week. I made that mistake too. I remember this mastermind I went to in Barcelona. Everyone was talking about NFTs and meme coins. Some of these guys had made 6 figures in a weekend. I left feeling like I was falling behind. So I pivoted, launched a crypto tool, tried to ride the wave. It flopped, not because the space was bad, but because my conviction wasn't real. Meanwhile, a friend of mine, Ruben, was still running the same simple SaaS for restaurant owners. No hype, no viral tweets, just a solid offer, a growing client base, and reliable monthly income. A year later, he sold that business for over $2 million. That was my wake-up call. The millionaires I've met didn't jump from trend to trend. They picked one thing and built a system around it. If I had to start again, I'd stop chasing attention and start compounding effort. That's where the money is. Not in noise, but in systems that scale. Chapter 4, sell before you build. If you're trying to build a product, course, or service in 2025, the instinct is always the same. Spend weeks creating something perfect before you show it to anyone. Design, polish, tweak, then launch, and then silence. Here's the hard truth. Most people build something no one ever asked for, and they realize it only after they've spent all their energy on it. That's why, if I were starting again, I'd flip the process completely. And I'm not just saying that. That's exactly how Alex Hormozi built his empire. Before the suits, before the books, before the $100 million, Alex was running a gym. And like most gym owners, he was stuck. Low margins, long hours, slow growth. But instead of fixing everything at once, he focused on one thing, his offer. He started selling transformation programs before they existed. He'd go to other gyms and pitch them on helping fill their memberships. He had no team, no system, no app, just a clear offer and the confidence to say, if I can't get you 100 clients in 30 days, you don't pay. And when someone said yes, only then would he build the delivery around it. One offer at a time, one system at a time. Eventually, this model became Gym Launch, a business that scaled into the tens of millions. Not because he had a fancy funnel or a viral brand, but because he sold outcomes, not products. He tested the market with real money, not guesses. That lesson changed how I look at business forever. Today, if I had no product, no team, no platform, I wouldn't go into builder mode. I'd go into sales mode. I'd talk to 10 real people in a niche I understand, ask them what they're stuck on, and pitch them something that solves it. Not a full program, just a clear result. And if one or two say yes, I'd deliver the solution manually, one-on-one. Learn what works, document the process, and only then consider scaling it. It's not sexy, it's not passive income, but it's real. And it's how almost every successful founder I know started. They sold something raw, then refined it through reps. And honestly, that's the fastest way to stop guessing and start earning. Chapter 5. The day Warren Buffett knocked on a door. It was 1951. A 20-year-old Warren Buffett had just come across a little insurance company called GEICO. He read everything he could about it, and something about the numbers just didn't add up. The company was growing fast, but no one was talking about it. Most people would have stopped there, but not Buffett. He took a train to Washington, D.C., and walked straight to GEICO's headquarters on a Saturday morning. The doors were locked. The building was empty, but he didn't leave. He knocked. A janitor finally opened. Inside was just one man, Lorimer Davidson, a senior exec. Buffett introduced himself and asked if he could ask a few questions. They ended up talking for 4 hours. Buffett didn't pitch. He didn't try to impress him. He just listened, asked smart questions, connected dots. And by the end of that conversation, he made a decision. GEICO was the real deal. He went home and invested 75% of his net worth. And that single decision became one of the most important moves of his entire career. Not because he read a report, but because he put himself in the room. That's what I'd do if I had to start over. I'd find rooms where smarter people are already thinking at the level I want to be on. I'd ask real questions. I'd listen longer than I talk. And when the moment came, I'd move with clarity, not hope. Because wealth doesn't come from what you know. It comes from who you learn it from. Becoming a millionaire in 2024 is not about luck. It's not about being first or loudest or smartest. It's about making real moves in the right order with the right focus. If I had to start today, I'd listen before I speak. I'd build in public. I'd commit to one path and compound it. I'd sell the vision before I built the product. And I'd get in rooms where growth is the default. You don't need more time. You need to start. So if this video sparked something in you, like it, subscribe, and share it with someone who's hungry like you. Because this journey is way better when you don't walk it alone. This is Nova Wealth, and this is just the beginning.